again. Let's see. Today's topic is meals and entertainment. The ones that have been in business for decades will give you some really bad information about this because the rules have significantly changed since COVID. And they've changed again in 23. 2023, we went through another round of changes of meals and entertainment. Number one thing to understand, entertainment no longer allowed. Doesn't matter, not allowed. But a little bit later in this video, I'm going to talk about some of those so-called entertainment expenses have a different purpose and can be called something else. They were not truly entertainment. We just put them there because it was easier. So, meals. First thing, meals. Used to be practice for small business owners to go out on Friday night, take their spouse out for dinner, take their kids, go somewhere, and they run into a bunch of clientele and they all talk busy for a few minutes. So how's that roof working out for you? How did the meeting go with so and so and blah blah blah. So then they want to write off their meal for it. Well, and in years past they all got away with that, and the rule was, half of it was deductible and half was owner's draw at the end of the year. But when we got into COVID and everything was a deduction. Didn't matter. They were just letting everything go. Well, now that COVID's over, they decided to tighten up the rules. So now I have been giving my clients sticky notes. Say, go get yourself some packs of sticky notes. The Dollar Tree sells them if you don't want to go to Walmart. You don't want to go to the office supply. Like here, we don't even have an office supply. Walmart is it, or Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree sells packages of sticky notes. Go get some of those and have a pen in your car. Take the sticky note when you get out of the restaurant. Write down, here's what you have to have now. The receipt, you cannot write off any meals from a gas station. No, you can't go in and buy soda and stuff at the gas station and write it off. You can't. You just can't. You can't go and buy their hot lunch there. Doesn't count. It has to be a sit down or ability for takeout, a real restaurant. You can't even write off food from the supermarket. Okay? Just can't. Small exception in a minute we'll discuss. The meals are sit-down restaurants or takeout restaurants. McDonald's counts. Applebee's counts. Steakhouses count. The bar can count if it does food, but the caution is alcohol should not be on a business bill. Okay? There's liability factors in there, so if you do alcohol, you should have it on a separate bill and pay for it separately. I'm not going to argue that one with you. That's the rule. I'm going to tell you once, that's going to be it. But you have to document who was sitting at the table. Every one of those people has to have a meal. And not only who they are, but where are they from and how are they related. So if it's you and your spouse and a salesman's spouse, that's fine. If your spouse is not an owner of that business, the spouse's meal shouldn't be on there if the salesperson didn't have their spouse or significant other there. I don't know why they went that deep with it, but they did. So you have to list the person's name, how they're affiliated. Was it a salesman? Was it a potential client? Was it your insurance person? Was it your tax preparer? I don't know. It has to be somebody related to the business in some way. Client, vendor, something. Potential client or vendor. Okay? You're a lawyer. I don't know. But their name, you have to have their name, how that's associated. They have to have a meal on the receipt. Try to keep the alcohol off of there. And what was discussed and what was decided. So that's why this comes in, because that's a lot to write down. One of those little bitty receipts from the restaurant. Where are you going to put all that? Well, put it on here, stick it to the back, give it to your person who does your books so that they can make the copy, scan it, have it available should an auditor ever want to see it. You still only get to write off half of it, but if you don't have all that backup data, that receipt don't count. They're going to throw it out. It's going to be all owner draw. And by the time you get into the penalties and the interest for not having reported it right, and they're considering that you're defrauding, you're looking at double tax. It's not worth it. Do it right the first time. Just jot it down. You can write K. Smith, Applebee's Apple Core, whatever, discussing possible buying new computers for the office. I don't know what you're going to write down, but if you were meeting with a sales rep from Pella Windows, then write down that's who it was, and you were discussing trying to make a deal for a better price of windows for a project. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard, but you got to put a little more effort into it than just saving the receipt and throwing it at your tax person. You got to have some detail now. That's the rule. And like I said, still only half of it is countable. Now, let's get back to if you buy Gator, if it's 85 degrees outside and you have a crew working outside and you decide to go through the gas station, fill up with gas and go, oh, I'm going to go buy go buy a whole bunch of Gatorades in here and some bottles of water to throw at my crew. Okay, so that you can write off. We're going to put it under supplies and materials, not a meal, because you're providing your employees with a necessary health and safety supply, water, Gatorade, electrolytes, something to keep them working and upright. That receipt would be that. But you're going to want to, again, tell us what it is, or we're going to look at that receipt in our office and go, okay, well, what is that? Because that looks like owner's draw to us. Got to tell us what it is, or we're going to assume that it is not legitimate when it should be, and you want us to not assume incorrectly. You have to give us the info. The other thing about entertainment, you know, it used to be you could pay for your golf club membership and all this. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Exceptions to that rule. If you sponsor your local Chamber of Commerce business after hours, I did that in January. I wrote that off. It was a $300 expense to the chamber and a $300 expense for the meal, and another $60 expense for the tip for that. I wrote all of that off. That was all advertising and promotional. You were promoting your business. You're promoting goodwill to the community. I got free advertising out of it through the chamber. I actually gained a few clients out of that particular Chamber of Commerce event. So it was advertising and promotional. Did I get some of the hors d'oeuvres that were served? Yeah, I did. But you know what? I didn't have to write off half of it for that. I got to partake, but it was more about others. And, you know, I even went and bought some things for you always do a giveaway at these events. And I went, and there was another business we went in together to do, a couple business went in together to do this. So we went and got some gifts to create a basket. We always do a giveaway. Every one of these events, there's a giveaway. Somebody brings in stuff for a giveaway. I went and bought some items, and we did a little basket. We did a couple raffle giveaways. That was all part of the advertising and promotion. It promotes goodwill. It's all advertising and promotion. If it promotes goodwill, gives you free advertising, they blasted that out. And I shared their blast on my social media pages to get more attention. Put it on my husband's social media pages to get more attention. So if you sponsor a softball team, that's advertising and marketing. You're going to have shirts with your name on it on those kids' back. That's advertising. A little off note, uniforms are allowed. Buying your clothes is not. So if it doesn't have your logo on it, you can't do it. Don't even try that. I know that's not on the subject, but we're going to throw it in there since we're there. So there's some entertainment is allowed. If you are a contractor and you've got a golf membership, not allowed. If you are a contractor who needs to be part of the construction association of whatever state you're in, that's allowed. That's a membership. That's a due. That's if you're a member of the chamber, that's a membership and a due. If you advertise with the chamber, that's advertising. It's not entertainment. If you throw a Christmas party for your employees, that's promotional because you're promoting your business. It's going to be at a place that's going to have a sign out potentially that has it that you're in there. Billboard, it's going to be either on their sign outside, it's going to be in their lobby. Other people are going to see it besides your employees. That's advertising and promotional. It's promotional. It's not really advertising, but it's promotional. So there are ways to do it, but entertainment in itself, not allowed. Going to the casino, never, ever allowed. Betting on any of those online sites, never, ever allowed. It doesn't matter if you gave that as a gift to some salesman, you're out that. That doesn't count. that's an owner draw automatically. Does not count, cannot count, will not count. Um, those come through the bank feed, so you're not going to get us to not see that one. Unfortunately, you're not going to get away with that one too easy. So again, entertainment not allowed, but some things are still allowed. You just have to call it something else because it really is something else. Entertainment was the easiest thing to put it to in the years past. Doesn't mean it necessarily was entertainment. We now have to call it what it is. So if it's advertising, if it's promotional, if it's a membership of something that you need to operate. I have a membership with the National Association of Tax Professionals. I get to write that up. I have a membership with the American Institute of Public Bookkeepers. I get to write that one off. I have a membership with Kiplinger's. It's an investment magazine. I need that information. It tells me a lot about what's going on with retirement funds for the people I do taxes for. It helped me decide what retirement fund I wanted to put in place for myself and my employees. That was a write-off. That's a subscription I can write off. So, again, maybe 10, 15 years ago we would have called those entertainment. They're not. They're memberships and subscriptions. I have a valid need to have those. It goes to credibility. It goes to my function on my office and what knowledge we need to have to keep going in a positive direction. So don't be discouraged when we all say, "Oh, entertainment isn't allowed anymore." But what did you do? Because maybe it really shouldn't have been entertainment. Maybe it has a different category it can still be used as. So meals, you got to have all the details. Name, who they are, how they're related to your business. What did you discuss? What did you decide? They got to have a meal on that bill. If you're at a coffee shop, everybody's got to have something to drink. So it's got to cover them all, and you got to put it with that receipt so you don't have to remember 6 months from now when we're double checking all your stuff. I don't remember who I met that day. No, you're not going to remember who you met that day. You know how many people you've seen in the meantime? Write it down right away. Put it on there. It's super simple. Make it easy. Once you get used to doing it, it's really not so bad. It works. So just wanted you to know about those changes. It's lots of fun. Thank you.